I want to take a look at this. So yesterday, I posted this. More Perfect Union shared an article from the Los Angeles Times. LA County wants to cap rent hikes at 3%. Landlord said that it would push them to sell.
I'll make that deal. How about you bitch? You make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Good deal.
Right? That's good. Good. You know, that's a win-win. Everybody's winning in that scenario. Now, pretty much everybody in the comments is, you know, in agreement, right? Except for this guy, right? This dude went absolutely ham sandwich in the comments. He was so mad. He was replying to himself. Someone said, where will the landlords, renters live then? Someone said renters could be the owners. Nothing stopping them except their own inability to do so. And I was like, do you mean being broke or the landlords refusing to sell to the renter? Houses are for sale all the time. Renters rent because they're unwilling to make any sacrifices on short-term pleasure. You can go buy a house right now. No landlord is stopping you. Okay, let's consider something. Short-term pleasures. Okay, let's do some math, chat. Let's do some math. Let's say that you're doing the, if you just, stop buying Starbucks every day, you'll be able to buy a house, right? Your avocado toast. Let's, average coffee, what, $5? Let's say you're grabbing one every day, Monday through Friday on your way to work, right? $25 a week, right? Monday through Friday, you stop at the local Starbucks, grab yourself a $5 coffee, right? Now, let's say you do that every day for the month. We'll do it times 4 weeks in a month, right? Now, let's multiply that by 12 months, right? $1,200 a year. So $1,200 a year times 12, $14,000, right? Let's consider what the average down payment on a house is. Let's just say in my state, right? Let's go over to Forbes. Let's go over to Forbes for a second. Average down payment on a house in 2024. So anywhere between $6,000 and $108,000. 7.85 was my best interest rate on a $350,000 loan. That was a credit score of 780. Right, and that's good. That's a great credit score. Good luck. Good luck saving that $14,000, right? Because we already know 72% of the country is living paycheck to paycheck from a recent, I believe it was a economist report. 72% of the country is living paycheck to paycheck, meaning that missing a paycheck or not getting the total amount of your paycheck, you had to miss a week and you didn't have PTO, right? You're just getting like a third or half of your paycheck. That will devastate you. Look at this copium. Landlords don't typically buy top-notch single-family homes. They post ads and buy wrecked houses and fix them like this. Let me get 1s in chat if you're renting and 2s in chat if you own. Let's do a poll. Rent or own, so I can get. Now, I want to say this to everyone who's currently renting and living with family. No shame here, okay? No shame. All right, especially those of you who are living with your family. Don't feel bad about that. So, of you renters, I can already feel it being typed in chat. How long has that thing that needed to be fixed, that was broken from the time you moved in, needed to be fixed? How long has it gone unaddressed? 12 months? Welcome in, Cat Semu. 0 months. 4 years, the whole time, 3 years, at least a year, 2 years. So this is obviously not like a study, right? This is not data. This is just, this is anecdotal. This is just, feeling it out from the chat. But this is a common theme among renters, right? And some of you may have experiences with decent mom and pop landlords where they will fix stuff, right? That's a rarity though, right? The exception is not the norm. This notion that landlords just go in and fix broken, busted homes as if they're providing a service is just a lie. It's just a lie. You are buying homes that were on escrow, or people who had a lien on their homes, or was foreclosed on, God forbid was condemned, and getting it just up to that line where someone can live in it, right? Where it passes inspection.
There's dust fuzz on the TV.
Okay, first of all, this is clearly a home that an elderly person was living in and then died. You got the CRT TV in here, okay? You got this weird ass, like, wall shelf. This is definitely an old person's home. I like how we didn't show the fixed part of it. And there's no like tag in this from Instagram or TikTok, so I can go look it up to see what this looks like. Where is the fixed part? Remember this article from last week? Companies own a quarter of Fort Worth single-family homes, the city says. The FBI just raided, what was the company? Cortland. Yeah, Cortland Management was the company that owns like 56% of single-family units. Let's continue with this copium. This dude replied to himself multiple times. So he replies to what I said, replies to himself again. The victim storyline you make out, renters aren't prepared to move into a destroyed house and spend thousands to fix it. Landlords do that. First of all, no, they don't. Secondly, if people had the finances, right? Because this whole conversation is built around landlords have more capital. That's it. They have more liquid capital for them to be able to spend on, what little repairs are necessary in order to pass inspection for somebody to move in, right?
To humanity
Don't even get me started on the corner cutting that you're seeing all over the country for single family units. Like I'm seeing videos all the time on TikTok of people just buying their first home and like siding isn't even secured. Like shingles are missing already. There's like cracks in bathroom mirrors and like fixtures are not secured, right? He said landlords do that. If you want to move into a smoked out, destroyed house and live in it while you fix it, you can find one right now. First of all, no, you can't, because again, they're being bought up, not just by private equity and property management firms, but also by landlords who already have capital. So I posted this, hitting home, housing affordability in the US. I just want to show you guys this one stat here that I cited. Median house prices are now 6 times the median income, up from 4 to 5 times 20 years ago. The ratio of median rents to median income rose from 25 to 30%. Think about that for a second. Remember that we have had negative wage growth for the past 30 years. 50 years if you want to bring it back to like the Reagan era. I keep bringing back this conversation I was having with that Democratic Party person, and I told them, because they asked like, what kind of policies do you think would be good messaging for the Biden campaign? And I was like, well, aside from the genocide thing, right? Housing. There is no addressing the housing crisis right now on a policy level. That needs to be talked about, like first and foremost when it comes to domestic policy, housing, because it's the crisis people are facing. And I introduced them to Red Vienna. Now, old heads in the community know about Vienna and its housing, its public housing policy. But if you don't know, in Vienna, any housing project that is greenlit by the city, 2/3 of it has to be owned by the public. So if you're building out a 12 home cul-de-sac, right? That means that however many, 8 of them have to be publicly owned. Now, the reason that is done that way is because in America, there's nothing that caps the housing market. Nothing caps the market rate. 50% of houses I saw on Zillow get flipped and put back up double. Yes, and that is RealPage, which is what Cortland got rated for, because RealPage is using an algorithm to artificially jack up the prices based on data put in by real estate managers. So to go back to the Red Vienna thing, if nothing caps the housing market price, then it just will go unregulated. It will soar up. So I quoted this and I said, you can cope all you want, but it's a simple supply and demand issue and landlords are hoarding supply. Motherfuckers who think of themselves as like econ understanders can't understand one simple thing. If there is supply, right? We'll just call them dots, right? And there are two groups of people. There's reds and there's blues. If the reds have more of this, right? They've got this many greens, monies, right? Resources. And the blues have this many. And these are bought up by the dots are bought up by this group, leaving this one with limited options. Who has the ability to make this and this worth more of this? It's the person that already started with more of it. It's a simple supply-demand issue. Who has all of the supply? It's the red people. It's the landlords.